Okay, so you're telling me that you don't believe in Bigfoot, Sasquatch, or Yowie, as we call it in Australia, because science has not said that they exist, because they haven't received the body of one or a substantial part of a body, which is, as they say, we require this. Okay, all right. I'm going to tell you why I am a believer. And let me tell you, I need hard facts to believe in anything. Okay, I'm a see to believe sort of person, and I can't just go from something that someone says. I need a lot of information to make an intelligent decision. So I'll tell you a little bit about my past, my background, my history. So I am a wildlife specialist. I have a background in zoology, conservation biology, wildlife management, cognitive ethology, animal behavior. I've worked with over 400 different mammal species. Also worked with a lot of other species, birds, etc. And I am a state licensed wildlife trapper. I also own a company where we trap and remove and relocate wild animals. You name it, we've done it. I've caught some of the biggest snakes you've ever seen. And I've done this in both Australia as well as America. I was a stuntman for many years, jumping off buildings and letting people put me on fire for some silly reason, and racing cars, you name it. So I ain't scared of much. I like adrenaline. And I kind of thrive on it, and I love the unknown. I love the unknown, and I love the mysteries of this world, this universe. And when something compelling grabs me, it's got to be something good. I will go after it. So let me tell you why I'm a believer in the Sasquatch. So, going back, I was 28. We were in the wilderness of Victoria, Australia, down south. It is dense forest. I was with 3 other people, and we were on horseback. We were out there for about a week, and we just ride. We just go. This is what we did. So on the day in question, we were on horseback. We were just walking through the forest, talking amongst ourselves, and then we heard this sound, which I know the sounds of pretty much every animal in Australia when it comes to definitely mammals, and I'm pretty good with birds as well. And this howl, cry, shriek was like nothing I'd ever heard. It was not a canine, it wasn't a dingo, it was not a dog of any kind, it was not a human. I mean, I can't even, we tried to copy it and we could not. The sound was something like, but they're more like a I'm going to say a primate, monkey type, wolf type, I don't know. But anyway, we heard it, we stopped, dead in our tracks, and we were just silent, waiting to hear it again. And I was just puzzled. I'm like, it didn't make sense in my mind. I was, I knew everything pretty much there was to know about wild animals, and I had not ever heard this sound. I said, there's got to be people out there. But we're in the most remote place you can imagine. So anyway, a moment after that, we then hear another one, right, from the east side, maybe, geez, it couldn't have been a mile away from where we heard the first one. The first one was about a mile away. This one had to be less. It was responding to that one like a wolf does, like a wolf pack does when they cry to each other, or coyotes. Whenever coyotes are ambushing prey, they'll go, and then another one from the inside, and then they slowly close in on the animal. I'm just like, what the hell? So that was my first thought. Are these animals whatever it is, are they closing in on us? Are they? So that was one thought, and then I thought this is crazy. This is nonsense. Bang! We took off on the horses, right? Full gallop, racing in between trees, all the way through. We get to the location roughly where we thought we heard it. We looked everywhere, couldn't find it. Okay, long story short, couldn't find it. And we were like, this, you can imagine. So anyway, from that day, I knew nothing about Bigfoot, Sasquatch, most people's typical response. Didn't want to know about that sort of stuff. I was living in the real world. And anyway, from that day, I have not stopped pursuing the truth on this thing. And, oh God, it's been amazing, but frustrating. Obviously a lot of frustration comes with trying to find this, to find the proof of this. So, first place I have to go to is evolution. I need stone cold hard facts for me to believe in something, alright? I need to see it to believe it. So, if we go to evolution, how could a creature like this exist? 8 foot tall, covered in hair, super intelligent, and all the rest of it. Okay? So, there was a creature called Gigantopithecus, which lived from about 9 million to about 100,000 years ago, and there's fossil record evidence to prove that. Okay, so we have to stick with that. Now, 1930, there was 3 or 4 jawbones found and hundreds of teeth and hair. It was from a creature that was basically 8 foot tall, walked on 2 legs, had all the hair, and it was basically Bigfoot. Alright? So there we've got some more evidence. Now, 1930, that's not long ago. So to say that it does not exist now, you can't really say that. How can you say that? You've got to be open to it, right? Now, that was the first place I started. Now, and the other thing is, if there's something like 8.6 million species, right, on the planet, and something like 80% still have to be described, okay? So let's keep that in mind. Now, my second piece of evidence, where I went to next, which was really life-changing for me, was the Patterson and Gimlin video from 1967. Have you seen it? If you haven't, you need to see it, because this thing is amazing. It's as real as it gets, and it's been analysed to death, this thing. So this video shows this 8-foot creature in 1967. That's a long time ago, okay? We didn't really have the technology to be doing a lot of stuff back then, especially costume making, creature suits and all this sort of thing. This creature walked like it was naked. It was like it was in its birthday suit. You could see all the muscles moving in uniform. So the muscles were moving as they should move, as it turns around. And one muscle works with another set of muscles, but it was doing it in uniform perfectly. Plus its hands were moving, right? If you're in a suit, they ain't going to move, okay? Then they showed its feet. The foot, as you saw it come up at the back, you could see the full bend on it. It was up like this. Now, if you're in a suit, there's no way that's happening. This thing walked, well, here we go. So there were Russian scientists and biomechanics, and you know what they said? They said that this thing walked like it was cross-country skiing. And it was 8 feet tall. Now, it walked so perfectly that it's impossible, because not many people grow to that height, for one, and if they do, their gait, they have problems with their gait when they are that tall. They don't walk well, okay? This thing walked like it was cross-country skiing. It was amazing. It just doesn't get it, and it was called, it was collectively called Patty, I think it was, because it was a female. You could see the breasts and everything. This thing was the greatest piece of footage I've ever seen. Now, for that to be hoaxed, I really, really struggle with that. So that was the second piece. Then you've got the third one, the one that was just amazing. So there was this professor, anthropologist called Grover Krantz. He discovered these footprints, and they were, 18, 19 inches, and these footprints showed the right foot was a normal foot, and the left foot was crippled. So they called this creature Cripplefoot. Now, the way that he described it, he said, and I'll add a picture to show you, okay? So the way that this foot was described, all the toes were bent out this way, meaning it had a deformity for specific reasons. So, basically he just said that based on this, he said, if this was faked, then that person would need to know more about human anatomy and have a more inventive mind, he said, than he, because it's just not possible. He said nobody could have figured it out to do that. You could see the way that this foot was pressed out to the sides, and the way it was amazing. This guy went on national TV and talked about it. He was a professor. That's putting yourself on the line. You'd want to have some real good evidence to feel that you could go on national television and say, I believe in Bigfoot, and here's why. So that was the third piece of information that just, did that. Oh my God, got me so damn excited. I know these things existed, still possibly exist. If they've existed for that long, then they're a species that is a survivor. So this is why I believe in that. And and to say, okay, but we haven't received a body or part of a body. Well, okay, but look, how often do we find the remains of a bear or a mountain lion, coyote, anything? You don't find them, okay? They're out in crazy geographical locations, and animals get in there and they will eat them. Soon as an animal goes through its death phase, right, it dies. The body starts to break down, it gets to a point, the flies come in, they lay their maggots. The smell at that point is so horrendous, which is amazing the way God does it, right? Because he's designed it in a way that, because of the smell, it attracts everything. It attracts the vultures, it attracts, all sorts of animals, the cleanup crews to come and deal with it. So it is gone, just like that. So to say that, oh, well, no body's been found, you can't use that. It's ridiculous. I mean, what about the squid, okay? What about the squid? So they said that the squid, right, proven would grow to about 7 feet long, right? The squid. But then there's all these stories going back how far, right? How far do the stories go back about squid? Giant squid, 30-foot squid, 50-foot squid, whatever. Pictures of them taking down boats and stuff. Okay, so science said, no, they're only 7 feet. No, we can't say that they were that long. Well, what happened in 2004? Huh? What happened? Japanese team gets actual video footage of a squid that was 28 feet. 28 feet long. Hello? So, obviously, the point I'm making is you got to be open to it. You can't just straight out say, nah, that thing doesn't exist. That's arrogant, isn't it? You can't do that. You've got to be open to it.